Hey there, teachers. This is Aaron, and I'm going to be helping you out with a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned from using Google and all the apps that are available. Since most of the students will most likely be moving to Chromebooks in the future, I wanted to make this video to help you get an idea of what is available to you as resources and how to use your Mac. And use the programs and word processing applications on your Mac and still have it interact well with the Google apps that the students will be accessing. First thing we're going to look at is Pages. Many of you have used Pages and continue to use Pages. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. But you'll notice that if you try to take a Pages document and upload it to Google, it won't be able to accept it. So what you need to do, and it's really easy, click File and go down to Export to, and then you choose Word. Once you do that, you get this little prompt. Don't need to worry about the advanced options, and then you click Next, and then you want to choose where you want to save it to. I'm going to make a new folder on my desktop. I'll just put for Google Drive. And now I have this info sheet as a Word file now. That's it. I'll leave it open. And now I'm going to go to Google Chrome because it's the browser I use. You can access it with anything, but Google Chrome is just what I use. With Chromebooks, I think you have to use Chrome, so you might as well get used to looking at it. So I could type in here Google Drive, but I could also go over here. When you open up a new tab in the Google Chrome browser, you'll be presented with this 3x3 grid, and these are all the apps that are available. And you can see right away that Docs is right here. But let's go to Drive for now. Once Drive opens up, I'm going to get a couple of options of what I want to do. The reason I'm choosing Drive first and not the Docs, as you might be wondering, is that I use Google Drive. I use it like it's a computer, I guess. So I have all of my CAJ docs here for different classes and different things that I keep records for or manage. So what I was doing just then was for graduation coordinator. And I don't have a file for that. So I'm going to make one. I need to have a new folder. So I'm going to label this graduation. There it is. And now I'm going to double click on this and I can just drop files right there. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show my desktop and I'm going to grab the file out of here. And there we go. If you can see that, it's waiting for me to let it go. And I get this little window down here to let me know how long it's taking to upload it. And now that it's finished, I can just close this because it says uploads completed. Now, you'll notice too that this is the Google, this is the symbol for Google Docs. I can preview this by pressing P, so I don't have to open it right away, and everything looks good. This is basically the same thing as what I have here. So the benefit of having everything in Google Drive or in Google Docs, I can open this up and I can make my changes to it. But the nice thing is that you can share your documents now, and you can share all of your Pages documents that you've made for students with them now via Google Drive and Google Docs. Just remember, you need to export to Word. Let's say that you have a keynote presentation that you want to share with everyone. I have this one that I made a while ago, and it has lots of videos in it. It has different images. It also has notes for me as the presenter. I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to take it and I'm going to export to PowerPoint. Same thing, you can ignore the advanced options. Click Next. Once that's done, you can just save it to the, I'm going to save it to the same spot I have for Google Drive, so that way everything is in the same spot. And that's it. I'm going to leave this open and go back to Google. And that would be for, let's put it here. Now I'm going to click on, you'll notice that I can't upload. There's no other button or function right now that I can upload anything. But if I click New, I can do File Upload here. So remember, the New button isn't, when you click it, it's not going to just make a new something or other. Because we're in Google Drive, it's going to ask you what you want to make. A new Google Doc, a Google Sheet, a slide, or there are more options. We're going to upload our file. And now I'm going to find it here. Here we go. Practice makes perfect sense. And you notice that it doesn't say PPTX or .ppt like a PowerPoint. It says OpenOffice XML presentation. So here's the thing that might get you worried. This isn't exactly what you saved it as. That's okay. If you're really worried, you can do a check. The original document I have is about 48 megs, and this is 50.4 megabytes. So now that I know that it has the video files from the original Keynote, I can just use this. So I'm going to import it in, and this is going to take a little bit longer just because it's a little bit bigger. Okay, and soon I'll get an upload complete message here in a second. There we go. And now it gives me a little message here, and I can open this up. And I want to right now just to show you what it looks like. There we go. Voila. You'll notice that some things are not exactly the way they should be. Some things Google doesn't do well when it imports, or rather when you export as a PowerPoint, the fonts aren't always the same. But with that said, Google also has really great fonts that you can choose from. Where are they? Oh, brother. Here we go. Arial. So notice I have these fonts right here. These aren't in the typical set. I've actually gotten these from, or I found them on this More Fonts section, and you can find a lot of really cool fonts, different types that are available. So maybe there'd be something that's I don't know, different looking that will catch someone's eye. It'll look a little bit nicer, or maybe it matches the original. Like this one matches a lot better. So I'm going to choose that one. And now there I go. That looks pretty good. You'll also notice too that it's kept my theme with my colors. And I can choose another slide, and this is almost the exact same as what I can choose in Keynote. Look at this. So I can go here and I can change, I can add a slide. There we go. And it's almost the same. It's minus the pictures and the text, but it's pretty close. So they do a pretty good job with that. And now going back here, this is what I want to show you. And here are my presenter notes. So this is slide 10. And let's just make sure that things came in like they should. Oh. Here we go. There you go. Now I said like the text is different. But it still has my notes, which is really important. And the nice thing is you don't have to press Control S to save. Everything's automatically saved. So that's how you import Keynote. The next thing I want to look at is something that I have to do. I need to share my calendar with students. I do the chapel program, and students that are in chapel band don't see the chapel calendar typically, so I have to share it with them. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have my chapel team calendar here. I'm going to click this arrow. I'm going to go to calendar settings. Now that I'm here, I'm going to go to share this calendar, and I need to make sure that this is already clicked. It should be clicked already. Need to make it public and share this calendar with everyone at CAJ. Now that you've done this, then here is where you can type in email addresses. Now with that said, if you've already done this, you can click share this calendar and it'll go right there. So there's that little bit of goodness. And if someone is an administrator or someone shares the class with you, then you can change the permissions. And you can also, of course, remove them from the calendar, which I will do to these students once the chapel season's over. Next thing I want to look at is how I use Google Forms. I'm going to search my drive for jazz listening form. So this is a form that I've created for my jazz ensemble students. I ask that they fill out one of these every week, and the purpose of it is to get them to listen to jazz on a weekly basis. So I have this, and they fill in all the information, and then I get to view the backside. It's a different way of doing an assignment. But the nice thing is that you can organize it by timestamp, and you can also organize it by username. So I can check to see, I have this one yellow because this one's been highlighted. So that way I know it's been done and I've checked it. And you can also go to the top. So you can also search by date too. So these are the most recent. And if you do Z to A, sorry, that was the last one done. And now this is the most recent one finished. And you can see all the information here. You can even have them include hyperlinks or URLs and lots of other text. It's pretty useful to use when you want them to maybe watch a video on YouTube and then fill out a form as they watch or something like that, instead of just working on something like a document, then you have to look through the document. This way you have a timestamp that you know when they turned it in by, which I have a cutoff. Everyone has to turn it in before midnight on Thursday. So by 11:59 p.m. Next thing I want to show you is Google+. You might not know what Google+ is, and that's okay. It's just one of many social networking services, I guess, but it's available through Google. The reason I'm showing you this is that you have the ability to create something called circles, and this is more for a professional development thing. I have different groupings, and I have one that's called resources. The nice thing about resources is that you can search for interesting or relevant blogs or people or organizations that have really cool or relevant things to you for what you teach. So it's kind of like, it's almost like getting email in your inbox, but this way you get to selectively just kind of look through. It's almost like getting specific Facebook posts that are really interesting for what you teach. So that's Google+ in a nutshell. The other thing I want to show you is the Chrome Web Store. Now that I said that I'm using Chrome, I'm going to open a brand new tab. And now that I'm here, I'm going to click here and I'm going to, oh boy, I think it's here. No, it's not. So I'm in Chrome and there's this little button over here where I get some more options. And I'm going to go to more tools and I'm going to go to, oh, I know there's a better way to do this, but I can't remember, to be completely honest. Maybe it's, I'll check here first. Extensions. Oh, I can't remember the best way to do it. So I'm just going to go to extensions first. And now that I'm here, I'm going to go to get more extensions. You could also search for a Chrome Web Store, and I bet that would pull it up too. So this is the Chrome Web Store. Basically what it is, you can install mini applications into Chrome. I actually have a couple right here if you haven't noticed. I have this one because I have multiple Gmail accounts, and you can monitor all your Gmail in one browser, and it lets you know if you have new mail. You can also reply right in there. I have this one for translating kanji that I can't read. This one also is professional development as well. I get updates on new blog postings by blogs that I follow and read. And there's some other little things that you can do that help make your browsing experience better. I want to just point you to something real quick on these extensions. Down in this little categories section, you can search for education. What? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Apps, education, and then there are specifically teacher and admin tools. And this is where things get cool. These are things that are specifically for teachers that people make and come up with. And maybe something right now that you're seeing on my screen pops out to you like, oh, I could use that, or you've heard of it, or something like that. But these are, they let you know in the bottom right corner if they're free or not. But there's lots of really, really interesting and cool ones to use. So if you're curious or just wanting to try something different with students, then you could use this. The last thing I want to show you is the Google Drive app that you can download for your MacBook or your MacBook Air. So here we go. So if you look for Google Drive, or here it is, google.com/drive/download. You download the drive for your Mac and PC. I've already done it. So I'm going to find it. There it is. And if you've used Dropbox before, Google Drive basically acts as your Dropbox. And what will happen is it will say syncing or something like that, and then this icon pops up here, and it checks to see if any new files have been uploaded or anything like that, and tells me how much I've uploaded and how much I have left. So here we go. It's syncing right now. And the nice thing is that it syncs back and forth. So any changes that I make in my Google Drive folder on my computer are changed on my Google Docs. So I'm going to, let's see, here's on my computer, I have Google Drive, and I have all of these CAJ documents. And you'll notice that if I go to Google Drive itself, I'm going to be presented with the same options. So I'm going to go to CAJ Docs just to show you. So I have 11 folders here, and I have 11 folders here. So everything is the same. And if I take something like this talent show, what is this? Practice room sign up sheet. Or this thing right here. I don't need this anymore, really. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in my sound and lights folder. Like that. Now check this out. In some matter of time, it's not instantaneous, but in some matter of time, this will go away and it will be, well, maybe if I refresh. Oh, okay, it takes some time. That's okay. But basically it syncs up there. It just went away. So now if I go into my sound and lights, I'll find up Tokyo Chamber Orchestra. That's what I just moved. So there it is. So you can now take files and images and things like that, and you can drop it right in here. Now, beware, if you have Pages documents, yes, they'll show up, but you can only download them. You'll be able to view PDFs. You'll be able to view straight documents. Actually, let's do a test right now and check. I'm going to take this back to school thing for graduation, and put it in, oh no, let's see. I'm going to do that again. Desktop, I'm going to take back to school to Google Drive, and I'm just going to put it in Google Drive. And this is a Word document, and I want to see how this uploads, because I actually haven't done it this way, but I want to see what happens, and you can watch with me. So it's got a check mark. It shows that it's going to be, here we go, synced. So now if I go to my drive, let's see, and let's organize this last modified. Oh, here we go. 9:09 p.m. Close. Let's see. Google Drive, back to school graduation, Word. Let's just search for it and see what I get. There. It's a Word document. It shows the W. And if I click on it, I can just open it up. And it hasn't been converted to Google Drive's format yet. But I bet I could do it. So I hope this was of some use and some help to you. If you have questions, you can always send me an email. But I hope that you learned something interesting and new that will help you in your teaching situation. And have a great day.